Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.
Yes, I will fight Terence Bud Crawford if he give me 45 million.
It might be some more bad news for Terence Bud Crawford. Manny Pacquiao wants $40 million. $40 million? Man, what you think you got, Kelsey Grammer? Chelsea Carter? We gonna talk about it right here. Smash the like button. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Shout out to everyone who used my link, ESPN Plus. Got the Usman fight. Great performance by him. Also, you seen that clip at the beginning. Get TubeBuddy if you're interested in leveling up your content. I've been using TubeBuddy for years. It's a great way for YouTubers, if you have your own channel, if you're starting a channel, to do a couple of different things, that tools that aren't available basically baked into the YouTube platform. So help you out and manage your account so you get that true growth. Use my link. The link is in the description. Now, bad news, Manny Pacquiao. You see the link. It says Manny Pacquiao wants $40 million to fight Terence Crawford. The legendary boxer appears to be seeking out one huge payday before retiring. Says Manny Pacquiao probably only has one or two fights left in him before he makes a full-time switch to the world of politics in his native Philippines. However, the former 8-weight world champion wants to go out on a huge money spinner. Pacquiao, he held the WBA before being made a champion in recess due to inactivity, told the Daily Tribune that he wants a big fight against a title holder. Long reigning WBO champ Terence Crawford is the name at the top of a lot of fans' lists for perhaps Pacquiao's final opponent, but money could be a stumbling block. Crawford, he's expressed interest in wanting to fight Pacquiao. He even said he was going to get the Pacquiao fight before later fighting Kell Brook. He said he was going to fight him in Qatar, and they were working on it. Pandemic happened, and all we know is the fight didn't happen between the two, and it hasn't happened for the last several years, 5-6 years. Pacquiao said in his interview, "I like to fight somebody who has a title. We told Bob Arum, I get $40 million and Terence Crawford gets $10 million. Boom." So that's his old promoter, and they told him that they want $40 million to fight Terence Crawford. He said, "I will fight anybody. You know me. I don't back away from any challenge. Bring him on." But he does want to get paid handsomely and for his efforts. Part of the reason Pacquiao may be looking to maximize his earning for a ring return is because his initial plan against Conor McGregor was derailed when he lost to Poirier. Multiple sources suggest that while Paradigm, the management company who now represent Pac-Man and Conor, retain a glimmer of hope that they could still make it happen, the chances of McGregor's second foray into a boxing ring, raking in 8 figures, was dealt a serious blow by the surprising second round stoppage defeat. Which is, what I've been telling you on my channel. Ego Stradamus strikes again. What can I say, people? I'm glad you guys are here. Smash the like button. But all in all, this does not sound good for Mr. Bud Crawford, if I'm being honest, because Bud Crawford has long stated that he's down to fight Pacquiao, but it's going on probably 6 years, maybe even longer, where he said he's down to fight Pacquiao, can't get it. He's been at welterweight for a couple years. His first fight was a title fight, and he has never been able to unify. We know that PBC owns that landscape in boxing, that all the marquee fighters that Crawford could or should fight are over there. And we knew that. And I told you this was going to be a problem going into it. Some people didn't believe me, but the great Ego Stradamus strikes again. Crawford is a terrific talent. I'll never not say that until otherwise proven. But it's not looking hopeful because, you know, we're just spitballing here, people. Conventional wisdom. Bob Arum has been known for being cheap or frugal, especially as of recently. Money is not as free flowing. And even if it is with the pandemic, which, you know, everybody's business has probably been halted to a degree, right? Even if it is, he still remains to be a penny pincher. Keith Thurman recently outed him out and said Bob Arum is basically the same thing. Bob Arum is cheap. And he said that's why your fighters are thinking about leaving you and your big names have left you. Floyd, Pacquiao, Cotto, De La Hoya, Andy Ruiz. And he said Crawford is thinking about possibly leaving. I don't know. That was Keith Thurman saying that, not Crawford. So it's Crawford's career. He could move how he wants and whatnot. But all in all, if Bob Arum offered Sean Porter publicly $1 million, which most people, when they reacted, including myself, said, whoa, $1 million for a Porter Crawford fight? That's all you have to offer? You're teamed up with ESPN, who's owned by Disney, and that's all you have for Terence Crawford's mandatory Sean Porter, which you could probably put on pay-per-view. I mean, let's just be real, people. If Crawford fought Postal and he fought Amir Khan, and both of those fights were selected for Crawford pay-per-views, then why couldn't you put a Sean Porter fight on pay-per-view? ESPN, you know, they have the infrastructure where they could do pay-per-view, and Crawford, he fought lesser people at that time in their career on pay-per-view. So why couldn't a Sean Porter fight be pay-per-view? 2019, I was there. Errol Spence fought Sean Porter on pay-per-view, and it did good numbers. So Crawford has said he's the A side. I don't know. He said a lot of things, and I have to kind of slice those into separate videos. But recently, he just said he'll never mention Errol again. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. But it looks like the walls are closing in. Very interesting moves to see what Crawford does decide to do next. But with Pacquiao wanting $40 million, I don't know if it's even set up for him with Top Rank to fight Crawford to get that type of money. Because look at recent Top Rank news. It's every Bob Arum interview with all of his marquee stars, maybe barring Lomachenko or barring Tyson Fury. He's constantly talking about we're in a pandemic. Fighters got to get real. Their purse demands can't be met. I'm not going to go bankrupt. I'm not going to go broke trying to please these fighters. Look at Teofimo. He just told you, Bob Arum, Top Rank, that he don't care if it goes to a purse bid, because if it goes to a purse bid, he's still going to get a slice of Teofimo's money, and another company, whoever wins that auction, that purse bid, can actually put up the money and face that liability of the fight. If you overpay for it and it doesn't generate, then that's your liability. That's your loss. And he said he's good with that. So I don't know that Top Rank would be able to pony up and give a Pacquiao fight and Crawford $40 million, which would mean that Crawford doesn't get the Pacquiao fight that he's been trying to get. So you got to ask yourself a few questions here. Crawford and Pacquiao were both Top Rank fighters simultaneously at the same exact time. He never got the fight, no matter what. Pre-pandemic, in the pandemic, it doesn't look like after the pandemic he'll get it, unless they, like I said, you tell me. But the logic that I'm seeing, if Teofimo, they're trying to give Teofimo, who just beat Lomachenko, $1.25 million, which is his bare minimum. That's his minimum, right? They're trying to give him the minimum for the Kambosos fight. And as a result, Teofimo's management company is like, nah, we want more. We just beat Loma. We're A-sides or whatever. So if he's not trying to give his own guy who they're running around, see, the game is so twisted, and I don't want to make this video too long, but just look at some of the factoids. Teofimo is running around saying I'm undisputed. Top Rank won't stop him from saying he's undisputed. So in your mind, you're only willing to give your undisputed fighter, who you claim is an A-side, his minimum wage, the $1.25 million, right? So if that's the price point, Sean Porter $1 million, you want to give your quote-unquote undisputed. I don't think he's undisputed because of Devin Haney and that whole politics with the franchise belt. But I'm just going off of the people who are saying he's undisputed. Team Teofimo, Top Rank. They're saying he's undisputed, but they don't want to pay him like he's this global, international, undisputed franchise champion and star, right? Because if they did, then there wouldn't be this purse bid coming up, right? So Pacquiao saying he want $40 million. Good luck, you know? Because even if you put this on pay-per-view, it has to generate a certain figure for that to be a $10 million payout. That's a $50 million fight. You know, he says Crawford gets 10 and we want 40. So he wants 4 times as much as Crawford. And we don't know what type of numbers that will sell. We don't know. This is all FUBAR, people. You know, we don't know Crawford's true star power off of network or, you know, broadcast television. His pay-per-views haven't been successful. So Pacquiao, realistically, if he wants on with the belt, he'd probably be better off fighting Errol Spence, because we know Errol Spence and Pacquiao have both headlined AT&T Stadium. So, you know, this is a difficult spot for Mr. Crawford based on the branding and prior decisions and where he's at. Again, $40 million. You let me know if that's feasible. But from my perspective, that in the way the past pay scales that Bob Arum has put out, I don't see them wanting to give him that much money, because I think there was even some issues Pacquiao Bradley 3 when Pacquiao was with Top Rank still, where Pacquiao wanted like 20 million plus and they didn't really want to give it to him. And I don't know, you know, it was a while ago. I don't remember exactly what they settled on, but ultimately it doesn't look good. And then even if Pacquiao fights, he's talking about fighting Ryan Garcia. He can make money there. I don't know how much people are willing to put up, but he can make money there. Even if Pacquiao doesn't fight Errol Spence could fight you guys, who just got Pacquiao's position with the WBA. He's a super champion now. So Errol could fight, collect another belt, and meanwhile, Crawford's staying in shape and he's kind of out the loop. You see what I'm saying? This is not 140 where he had all these belts right here. It's become much harder to collect. So between Bob Arum's frugal spending and offering his own alleged undisputed Teofimo his minimum 1.25, and then offering Sean Porter $1 million, he would have to generate $39 million more for Pacquiao just to pay Pacquiao's purse. And they don't have a proven track record recently of putting on pay-per-views. So we don't really know what Crawford. The good thing with PBC doing their pay-per-views is whether they hit or miss. Let's say Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz, Charlo doubleheader, Errol Spence's pay-per-views, Deontay Wilder Fury. It gives you data to study, and you can look and dig into the analytics to see and kind of project how much money you can make based on, though it's like basically you're doing case studies. There is no real case study with Terence Crawford being on pay-per-view, because one time he was on pay-per-view was a long time ago in like 2016 on HBO, and then his only other pay-per-view was years later on ESPN with Khan, and it flopped. And they're not continually putting his Kell Brooks and Benavidez and Mean Machine fights on pay-per-view, nor are they putting most of their fighters like Lomachenko, Teofimo on pay-per-view. So they really have no analytics or data to study to guesstimate how well their pay-per-view platform would do without PBC, because their biggest pay-per-view in the last several years would have been Wilder versus Fury, which was a joint venture. You guys got to keep up with what I'm saying, right? Versus PBC, they put out a lot more pay-per-views, but these are also kind of like case studies where you can look through the analytics. Okay, Tank Davis and Leo, that was his first pay-per-view. He did X numbers. Errol Spence, he's consistently doing X numbers. Wilder's doing these numbers. They don't have those kind of data points because unlike the UFC, Top Rank's exclusive ESPN deal, they haven't really dabbled too much in pay-per-view. I'm talking about ESPN by itself only, without a joint promotion like Wilder Fury, because that's ESPN and PBC. So when you strip that down, Crawford Khan is the only fight that even comes to mind that they've even recently done on pay-per-view. They didn't put Crawford versus Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin and Tom Schwartz. They wouldn't put that on pay-per-view. They didn't put Lomachenko T.O. on pay-per-view because they know they would flop. So all in all, I don't really see Crawford Pacquiao happening next, especially unless the price points are met or Pacquiao comes down off of that price point. Just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section. We working.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.